Welcome back. 2 weeks ago, we had the opportunity to attend a sex trafficking seminar in Maitland. And one of the speakers there was Doug Vander Horden. And he's joining me today via Zoom. And we're going to be talking about a program that he has. Doug, welcome to the program.
Hello, thank you for the invite.
Please tell our viewers, what is FAST 101, F-A-S-T 101?
Sure, absolutely love to. FAST 101 stands for Fighting Against Sex Trafficking 101. We're a small group, and I oversee this group. We've been together formally since 2017. I've been doing this work in our community since 2007. But FAST 101 came together in 17. And our primary focus really is education and awareness. And then where we can, we fill in the gaps of service. So we raise money, finances to help support those who are at risk or those who are coming out of their sexual exploitation situations. And we put first response bags together, which was roughly maybe $250 worth of items in these backpacks for victims who are coming out, and the police, we hand them over to the police and victim services, and they take them on a call, and it's a good first point of contact for them to hand over to the survivors. So we work hard on that, and that's something that community people can get their hands on and do something to help out. So we do that. That's ongoing for us. And education and awareness. So doing things like this today is really important to what we do. I work in a high school, so with our school board, I take any opportunity to do the education piece to our students, and then any community people who reach out and just want to learn more about, like we did a couple weeks ago with the RCMP officers. So
yes.
That's us in a nutshell. Yeah.
Explain to me then, I'm just a little confused as to what is Lion Hearts Inc.? What is Lion Hearts Inc.?
Yes, so good question. They're a local agency organization here in Kingston. Well, they were birthed in Kingston by Travis Blackmore, who's the founder, and now they have expanded to Ottawa and now London. So back in the beginning, they really saw the need in our community to help come alongside agencies who are supporting marginalized people who are, food insecure, things like that. So they actually got together with Costco and a couple grocery stores and just recovered food that was just, they were not able to sell, maybe a bag of bruised apples. And, so they're just sorting and redistributing food to local agencies. Yeah. So when COVID hit, it just exploded, just the needs and their ability to just take the relationships that they have with different, grocery stores, Costco, and rescue this food and then hand it off. So it just exploded. And so that is their main thing. And now they're working with Amazon. So they're getting all kinds of things from Amazon. And again, just helping to support a lot of the services that are happening in different locations any way they can.
Well,
so Travis came to me in one of my presentations, and at that time, this is before FAST 101, I was kind of doing this on my own, and he just asked me straight out, would you like to come under the umbrella of Lion Hearts? Mm-hmm. And for me, it was like a godsend. I'm like, absolutely.
Wow.
So Lion Hearts is just the umbrella organization, and they're in 3 locations now, Kingston, Ottawa, and London, just doing phenomenal work.
Well, it sounds like it. It really, really does. So now you are a high school counselor and a social worker, are you not?
Yeah. My title is adolescent care worker, and I'm with the Limestone District School Board. Okay. And I'm a counselor in a high school here. Yeah.
Okay. And being in the system, that has helped you to present to students and give them the awareness of what is happening out on the street.
I mean, to have hundreds of students right at your fingertips to share this information, it is really a luxury and something I don't take for granted. Not everyone has that right in front of them. So Yeah, I've been at this school since 2012, and I've been with our school board since '09. So, and again, I've been doing this work with the human trafficking stuff since 2007, just educating myself. So by the time I got into the high school, I've been doing presentations and community or connecting with community people, and it just seemed like a no-brainer. I've got
Yes.
all these kids, and we have classes where this kind of presentation just fits.
Mm-hmm.
Human rights classes, just health and all that. So
Yes.
it just made sense. And our admin and right from the school board office down has been super supportive. And over the years, we've just been able to get this information to now it's in our grade 9 health curriculum, which is fantastic. So it's really allowed me to get in front of a lot of students within a relatively short time. So It's been great.
Yes, yes. And how did you become involved with the sex trafficking?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. I get that question a lot. Years ago, between 2000 and 2006, I was working with a not-for-profit organization, and it brought me into the streets. So I did a lot of outreach work on the streets. During that time, I decided to go back to college. So I was an old guy going back to college full time, 2 young kids. And to make a long story somewhat short, in that period of college, I was shown a movie called Human Trafficking. And I thought I was well submersed in the realities of just sex work. I had some people that I knew downtown that were either in it or out of it, but definitely were experienced.
Yes.
But I never heard anything about someone selling people for profit, right? And the one being sold is making nothing. Like, it's just this abuse and exploitation. I never really understood that or heard about that. So it honestly, during it just kind of kept me up at night. I just kept thinking about it. And I just couldn't sit on that anymore. So I was still working on the streets at the time and going back to college. So I started banging on the doors of agencies that I had a relationship with.
Yes.
And just asking them, like, do you know anything about this subject? And again, long story shorter, it was clear that people thought they were coming up against it, but they really didn't have the resources to identify it and then do something about it. So it just kept pushing me down that path. And then a police officer, I was able to sit down with him, who just came out of the undercover unit, and he was able to confirm for me that, yes, it is happening in the city, in Kingston, in surrounding area,
Yes.
but we're just not tackling it very well.
Yeah.
So that just got me going. And here we are all these years later. And we've come a long way. We've come a long way. Yeah.
Well, education is really. I'm glad to hear that you did go back to college, and because we learn every day, and there's so much out there that we can learn. There really is.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
tell us what some of the myths and the misconceptions are when it comes to human sex trafficking.
Well, I think that the number one myth is, we think of the movies in Hollywood and how they portray human trafficking, just being abducted off the street in some creepy white van with no windows, and we're chained in a basement cellar somewhere and being shipped off here and there. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen somewhere, but that is not how it looks typically. People still think, well, it's people being trafficked from other countries, into the U.S. and maybe Canada. I don't know, but they have a hard time dealing or embracing or accepting, okay, this is what reality looks like. We have young people being lured in through Snapchat, through social media platforms, who are just these predators and sex traffickers are building relationships with their kids online. We have traffickers who are actually parents or uncles or grandparents who are paying rent or paying for their drug habit because through trafficking their nieces or kids or grandkids. And that kid is still going to school, and that kid is still living in the home. This crime doesn't have to travel. It can be right in our own community.
And we're not realizing it. We aren't realizing it, are we? And we always think that it's the trafficker is a male. I don't know
Exactly.
why. And it's not,
Well,
it can be anybody.
no. Yeah, I had one former student here who was from the Ottawa area, and her trafficker was an older female. And she now this kid, she said, I was not the greatest kid. I was downtown and I was selling drugs, and I met this woman, and she just, man, she took care of me.
Yeah.
Like I was not in the best circumstances, but man, she bought me stuff. She did my nails. She supplied me with some drugs, and then she introduced me to heavier drugs. Really got me hooked on that, and then started putting me out there,
Yes.
working me.
Yes.
And yeah, terrible. But she was probably, well, middle-aged anyway, I believe. That's what she said. So yeah, and victims can be males too.
Yes.
We don't talk about male victims very often, but there is a percentage of victims who are also male.
So Doug, why is this happening? Why are we hearing more and more about it?
Well, I think it's finally caught the attention of media, and just with social media now the way it is, and especially through COVID, a real uptick, in this stuff. It's gotten on the radar, and I think we just can't ignore it anymore. It's a light has been shed on it because this crime has depended on secrecy and just being in the shadows, laying underground, but it just hasn't. And I think it's just, when we're talking about, kids who are, 9, 10, 11, who are being lured into this, I mean, you just can't ignore that.
No.
Like, nobody thinks that's okay, So I think it's people, and like I said, like, media is kind of upping, the awareness on this, and service providers and police are now, doing things about this. The law is now changing. We just can't ignore it anymore. And now that we have a crisis line. We have lawyers who are dealing with this crime specifically. The whole legal system is catching up. I think victims are also becoming aware that there is a place to turn.
Yes.
We've been told a lie from day one of meeting this trafficker.
Right.
And hopefully, with the awareness that we're moving into now, at some point that victim is going to realize, yeah, I can change this. I just need to speak out.
I need the opportunity. I need someone to help me.
And people are identifying it, right? Like the people at McDonald's, the people at the corner store, right? Like they're seeing signs because they've educated themselves. And,
right.
And yeah.
I really thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to sit down with me and talk about this. And please continue on, please. Okay, we'll talk to you again.
Absolutely.
You take care.
All right.
All righty.